Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. I got a video today from Sigma Traits.
If companies can pay women less, why don't they hire all women?
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Really?
I understand your argument, and I understand that you're angry.
I'm not angry.
I can hear it in your voice.
I'm
Listen
not
to
angry.
your voice.
Every time we point out the hypocrisy and the truth, we're angry.
I'm hearing my voice and I sound pretty calm.
You have now shifted the quality of your voice, and I thank you for that.
Okay.
And you've just given me a condescending look, and that's another reason why we need feminism. And now I'm done. Thank you so much.
She identifies him as angry. Let's have a look at the comments. Can't defend their position, so they switch to attack mode.
Yep.
Damn right she definitely did, 'cause how else she can win a lost debate? Another one. She actually walked away feeling like she did something there.
She did.
Well, that's definitely acting and remorse. She very well felt the heat of that defeat. Somebody said, "She understands your arguments. She just does not understand hers." Love this one. So accurately describes what just happened here. Next says,
Yeah, because our logic our argument actually is locked into logic. Their argument is someone told them.
all she did was weasel her way out of the argument because she knew she just lost. And the best one, easily. Because of people like her, they don't want drama. Companies definitely want to avoid drama, and women have no accountability, and if you show them some, this is what they resort to.
I mean, I get comments down below all the time about you guys. Some of you guys run companies. You guys have decent sized companies and stuff, and there's even women in my comment section saying, yeah, we will never hire women. Women, you're fucking up.
What's the biggest challenge that you face running companies? Because it's hard. You have to...
Employees.
Why? It was hard to get them?
Why? Because employees, you have to hire people that you trust. Men are linear, they're direct, they're clear thinkers, they're easy to take care of. Women are emotional, difficult to do business with.
So did you hire a lot of...
That happens to be the truth.
So did you not hire a lot of women employees then?
No.
Why not? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Even as a boss woman?
Yes. You hire women that have men's instincts for business.
We already know this woman is hated by other women.
Of course.
OnlyFans aside, I personally would not advocate for employers to go looking to see how qualified the candidates are by the first thing that they're searching up after they see the name on the resume. Let's see if they have an OnlyFans account.
It comes up pretty quickly
and
when you look at
wouldn't just be.
Trust me. Can you imagine if people just Googled my real name? First few things are going to come up is double murder article. It's just like, yeah, probably isn't the greatest to be Googling people's name, but that's your past, right? They're allowed to not want to deal with you because you have a significant past. That's...
It wouldn't just be that as part of their history any more than I think it's relevant for an employer to be like, let's look through their Facebook, let's look through their Twitter, to specifically comb through their prospective applicants' internet history.
Okay,
in that way.
Internet history and OnlyFans are two different things. Okay?
OnlyFans can be part of your internet.
So if I'm the CEO and I'm
do.
hiring somebody, let's say I'm hiring a salesperson to close high-ticket deals and they're talking with important people on a daily basis, and I'm sending that salesperson to go speak with these people, and if any of those people that they speak to look up that person's name and they find photography of them all over the internet.
And that's the thing, too, when it comes to business, people look up each other's names all the time, right? Because they look at each other's LinkedIns and stuff. So it's not an uncommon thing for people to Google each other's names, especially in major corporate America.
Internet. Obviously, they're going to take me and my company far less seriously if I have somebody working like that for me. How can you say that that's not important?
Wow. To call this woman delusional would be a huge understatement.
It's like you hire certain people because they have clout and certain things, right? That's why you hire certain people to do your ads, like Michael Jordan or something. Would you hire Michael Jordan if he had a horrible reputation and a horrible background? No, the reason you hired him because he has an amazing reputation. He's an amazing basketball player and he has an amazing background. That's why you hired him. That's why the background matters.
Somebody said, all accountability aside, and we for sure agree, because these women want their cake and eat it too. Another said, I want to live my life with no morals whatsoever, and now I can't figure out why no one trusts me to do the right thing when morals are involved.
Wonder
Gee,
why.
couldn't have said it any better. I love the convenience of, this is in my background, but it shouldn't be relevant to me getting the job. Yep, brainless creatures for sure.
Are companies unwilling to hire women? Ooh, great question. I'm at the age of getting engaged, and I've heard people say, like, don't show your ring on calls. God forbid you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant.
I hate the answer I'm going to give you because it's so sad.
Go for it.
Yes, talking about getting engaged. Congrats.
Thanks.
It'll be like, oh, but she's going to go on a honeymoon, and then she's going to get married, and then she's probably going to have babies and then not be here. There is a sad reality where we're still dealing with this, where it's almost like, well, maybe take your engagement ring off before you go to an interview. I hate that those words are even coming out of my mouth. With my second pregnancy, I didn't want anyone to know. I was like, they're going to think I'm not committed. There's like this very frustrating stigma that I'm not going to be connected or committed or great at my job. And this time around, like this current pregnancy, I've like trying to show, hey, you're capable of doing more than one thing at a time. And I am trying to be proud of it and show it.
You are, but is it the best that you can do? You should be focusing on your child and your health and the things around you than actually making money. You can focus on both things, sure, but something usually falls to its wayside.
I found that like being authentic and vulnerable has actually opened up a broader, better client pool for me.
Sure,
and the people who don't like it are probably not the people I want to be working with anyway.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
We clearly know this is a case of 1 in a million, because no companies are ready to take on emotional humans who flip any minute. And let's be honest, juggling another human being with work is either bad for work or bad for the baby.
Shoutouts to Sigma's trait for actually saying that. I 100% correct. You can't be good at both doing the same time. One thing is going to fall to the wayside. Like I said, one thing's going to be shittier than the other. What would you want it to be shittier? Raising your child or your career? Like, those two are actually very hard choices for a lot of people.
There is no such thing as doing it all and being good at both things. It just isn't possible.
Nope.
Being in like those next few years after college, because like you try so hard. Like, I just got laid off in January, and it was a layoff. He cut off like half the company because financials weren't right. Like, his financials weren't right, so he couldn't hold it anymore. So yeah, and then like I keep applying places, and they either say I'm overqualified or not qualified enough, and like I'm trying so hard, and it doesn't matter. It feels like it doesn't matter. Like, it really is just like, it doesn't matter what your resume looks like. It doesn't like people try to tell you like, oh, if you do this with your resume it'll be better. If you try doing this with your resume it'll be better. 3 times and really wanted, I didn't get, and it sucks, and I feel a lot of different emotions right now. I feel like embarrassed and like ashamed of myself, because like I gave it my all, and like they didn't want me, and I know the job market sucks, okay, like I know.
It's just interesting to me that my family really circumvented all of this when it came to the women in our family. We just had businesses. We just have donut shops. We have donut shops everywhere. So when someone gets married or something, no, their career becomes the donut shop, and they all work at the donut shop. They don't have to worry about being fired somewhere else or anything, because it's your shop to take care of. So, I mean, it seems like it just gave women a more stable life within our family, because they didn't have to go get educated. I have 1 or 2 cousins that do have college degrees that are women, and then the rest don't, because they just went with their husbands and worked at donut shops. They're all quite successful now. They all own homes and things. They're not living extravagant lives, but they own a business and own a home and have kids, and they live decent lives. I don't know about all these people going to college and doing all this and struggling and being in debt, crying on the internet, and then trying to find a husband. And then what are you going to do? Like, even the husband might not be able to provide you a career or something like our family does. Women come in and they're like, oh, now the donut shop is yours. Now it's part of your business. Take care of it.
And I know the job market sucks and like whatever, but like it's just It really takes a toll on your confidence when you keep applying and you interview and you get rejected in the final round. This has happened to me 4 times in the past month. Interviewing again and again and again and getting rejected. And like, I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining, but like, it takes a toll on you after a while and it just sucks.
Giveaway. The interview did not go well. I've never been rejected from a job so fast in an interview. I don't even think she really asked me any questions. She said, tell me a little bit about yourself. And then basically just...
That's funny because that's the first question we always ask our people, or the people that we interview, is tell me a little bit about yourself.
just told me I didn't have enough experience. I don't know why. It's so...
I thought it went great, but then I get an email from the recruiter saying that I'm not going to be moving on to the next round. I was really bummed because I wanted the job, but I was also very confused. So I did something I never do, and I emailed her back and asked for feedback. And she said that while my background was exactly what they were looking for, my experience lined up with what they need for the position, she was concerned that for my interview, I hadn't put in enough effort in my appearance given the level of role I was interviewing for. I was interviewing for a vice president position, and now my...
Yeah, a vice president position? Yeah, I'd be done up to the 9. I mean, I'm pretty done up majority of the time, but I'd be like fully suited up.
Appearance. I had done a blowout for my hair, I had on a nice top, a blazer, some earrings, but I only had on chapstick. I didn't have any makeup. Just not wearing makeup for women make it seem like they aren't putting as much effort or care.
Yes, and it's just sad to say, but yes, it does seem that way.
Into their...
And always their job is some flunky job like relations with the dogs in the park.
Who are safer drivers, men or women? Well,
I love
according
Norm.
to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
R.I.P. So ahead of his time.
Women are doing at home between $150,000 to $250,000 a year in domestic labor.
So you're saying women are doing $150,000 to $200,000 of unpaid labor?
Yes.
Have you thought about the unpaid labor that men do around the house? Construction, landscaping, plumber, electrician, pest control, security guard, IT support, chauffeur, mechanic, babysitter, etc.
That is
my
such
girl.
A fantastic point. Do you own a firearm?
No.
Would you date a guy who owns a firearm?
Yes.
Okay,
I
have you dated?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's interesting because you're saying, well, for you to have a full-time armed security guard, which is what women have, that's really expensive.
Yep.
Women basically have executive protection for
Pretty
free.
much.
That's
I never even thought of it that way. The way that Brian just said it right now. They do technically have executive protection, don't they? Right? Because most men would lay down their lives for a good woman.
Unpaid labor. In fact, can I ask you a question? Husbands should be willing to die protecting you.
Yes.
Take the bullet.
Yeah.
Would you do the reverse for him?
No.
If we're talking about unpaid labor, if I wanted to hire 24/7 security, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
So why don't housekeepers and nannies make $150,000 to $250,000 a year?
Women did not want women's liberation.
What?
Yes, everybody assumes and believes that women kind of looked around in the 19th century and they went, you know, we're oppressed. We don't have any rights. I wish I could work. I wish I could get away from my bastard husband who drinks and beats me. And they marched and they picketed until they had voting rights and equality in the workplace. That's the story everyone's heard.
Yep.
And it's not correct at all. In fact, it's the opposite. So we had this big fight in the late 1800s between pro-suffrage groups and anti-suffrage groups. Most women in the United States and England, they far outnumbered by joining the anti-suffrage groups. They were very much against it. And these groups would debate, and women didn't want it. They thought they had a lot of great things going on already that were going to
Which
get
they
ruined
did.
by suffrage. Only men could be held responsible for debt. There was something called breadwinner laws that said, look, women have to raise kids and be pregnant and have babies. So we have to hold men responsible for financially taking care of women and children.
Correct.
So women couldn't be thrown into a debtor's prison. They couldn't be held legally liable for repaying a loan or anything like that. The anti-suffragists said, you're going to see a lot of divorce. You're going to see broken up families because it's going to pit husband and wife against each other. Political interests will be used to drive a wedge between men and women and break up families.
And that's exactly what it is right now, right? It's liberal versus conservative, and men and women seem to lean towards the opposite.
And then we're all going to be a bunch of single moms. We're all going to have to work. Like they literally predicted this.
This is true. But women today would rather die than accept this as their reality. All in the ego.
I don't believe in feminism. I think that if men are willing to do more and do more, then they should make more. That's the first argument. Everybody's like, men shouldn't make more money than women. I don't want to be a carpenter. Get up for me. I want your seat. Like, there's no reason we should get rid of those pieces of chivalry all for feminism. I don't know. Like you said earlier, we're taking it too far. We're taking it too far. I think that there are certain positions in society that are comfortable for a woman. And when you start pushing the men out of the other positions, then the women have to step into the ones that are uncomfortable for women. And I'm not willing to do that.
Correct.
The definition of feminism somehow changed in today's society. But now men aren't taking any chances around women.
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, oh,
I mean, just women gossiping all the time amongst each other does not create a great work environment.
I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. What is if you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this Me Too environment, in this litigation rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't.
There's
do
no
the analysis
value.
And say I'd just be like, no, I'm just not hiring anyone. Give me all the men.
It's like the risk is so great to get a subpar employee.
She's dead on. Men aren't idiots. They see the trap. The second you weaponize basic human interaction into lawsuits and drama, men pull back hard.
I don't particularly like to hire women.
Why?
No, you didn't let me finish the sentence.
She's ready.
Calm down. I don't particularly like to hire women that are close enough in age to me that there could be a thing. Look, dude, I'm the boss. I'm dressed nice. I'm taking control of every situation. We have over 200 employees. Like, no, bro, I don't need it.
This guy's laying it bare. He's not here to babysit drama or risk office distractions. When you're running a massive operation with 200+ employees, you don't want complications from women who might blur lines or bring personal chaos.
I don't know what's happened over the last couple of generations, but men don't help women. They don't offer to hold doors and things of that nature. And part of that obviously is because radical feminists, have said, if you hold the door for me, you're implying that I'm weak. So it's not like it's just the fault of men.
Do you ever fear about like looking like a Karen, or do you think you ever overreact?
I literally wear a shirt that says Proud Karen to the airport.
Really?
I sell them.
Oh, so you go in there ready
I let people know. Like, you know, like it's not the whole concept of like people calling you a Karen is to make you think that what you're doing is not legitimate. Like you shouldn't be upset about seeing something. So I tell people all the time, I'm the number one Karen at an airport. If I see something, I say something.
Something about being at the airport just gets you fired up. It's just a stressful.
It's true. Freaking airports. Hate them. LAX, literally one of the worst ever.
Environment experience, and
I deal with it all the
has
time.
been further burdened by COVID policies and all of that nonsense. So, but yeah, I think we just all have to just do better in terms of how people treat each other out in public.
Exactly. When men try to show simple kindness or help, some women twist it into too much or even accusations of harassment or assault.
Even some vociferous feminists have found themselves scratching their heads when their sons, they now have grown sons, and they run afoul of many of the policies that they advocated for as feminists. For example, there was a wave of rape allegations on college campuses.
Yes.
And, feminists made a lot of noise about it. And so policies were instituted to make it so that, as long as a girl reported to the school administration that she had been assaulted or she had been raped, that would be enough for the school to dismiss the boy or to expel him.
Yes.
And yet, if what he is being accused of is a criminal offense, then surely it's only fair that he's subjected to due process.
Yes.
So treat the allegation as a criminal offense, invite police to investigate and determine whether or not the rape took place, and then either press charges or something. But for the school to just do it themselves to just expel a boy without having gone through the due process of establishing guilt or innocence,
You're right,
seemed very unfair. And so one feminist found her son being accused of sexual assault. And she was like, but my sweet
as
boy,
a parent,
my
your
boy,
son,
he
you're
showed
like,
me the text messages.
Yes.
This girl has been hounding him. She has been disturbing him, threatening him. She's lying. And everyone's like, but hey, you said believe all women.
and that's why
we now believe the victim. Your son is guilty. Sorry.
And
there should be very strong sentencing for women that make false allegations, who false accuse, because men's lives are being ruined. So I think what should happen is that if you accuse somebody of rape, whatever sentence that rape would hold, you should have to serve. If there is clear-cut proof that you made it up, you should have to serve that sentence. And what I will say is I do know a girl who falsely accused a guy of rape, and she did it because she wanted to get back with her ex, and she thought it was a good storyline. And it was absolutely disgusting. And I am no longer friends with that girl to this day.
She thought it was good for the plot. That was pretty much what it was. A good storyline meant. Diabolical.
And you know what? I was so young then, but I should have had the courage to call the police and have told them that, hey, I do think that she's lying. I can't say for certain that she was lying, but it was a little suspect to me. And I do believe that she did it to get back with her ex. And it worked.
False allegations destroy lives, not just reputations, but careers.
It's not just one life. It's that man's life and the life of the people around him. Remember, a man is a pillar for quite a bit of people. That he takes care of majority of the time. Most men are not alone in their life. Most men have other connections that they're connected with, people they support, people that they have value to, that people value them. So it's never just one person that you destroyed their lives.
Families, mental health, and in many cases, the very will to keep going. That is criminal. Because if there's no consequence for lying, it sends a message that men are disposable and justice is rigged.
I have a team of people. Everybody who works for me right now are men. I've noticed if I hire someone and they're female, I have to be careful about how I talk to them, even giving criticism. And maybe it's me, but I feel like I have to be a little bit nicer, a little bit more gentler. Whereas with a dude, I can be like, can you just not do this again? And they're like, yeah, no problem, won't do it again. But if it's female, I'm like, okay, you did like this a little bit wrong. Here's how to do it a little bit better. Overall, you're doing a great job. Everything's fine. Please don't be upset.
Many men and women in hiring feel they must tiptoe around female employees, softening even basic feedback to avoid backlash or HR issues. This double standard creates an unfair, high-risk environment where men fear false interpretations.
The progress being made to get more women into British boardrooms, some extraordinary excuses have come to light as why men refuse to nominate them. Anna Stewart has the list. She joins me now
because they're shitty?
From London. And interesting that this is public at all, but what are we finding out, Anna?
I mean, Maggie, it's really hard not to laugh when you read some of these genuine reasons that male CEOs and chairmen have given for not nominating women to the board. Let me run through some of my favourites. We have, I don't think women fit comfortably into the board environment. Then we have, most women don't want the hassle or pressure of sitting on a board. All the good women have already been snapped up. And perhaps my favourite, we have one woman already on the board. So we're done. It's someone else's turn. Now, the UK government has published these terrible reasons or excuses, you could call them, for not nominating women to the board to shame FTSE 350 companies into doing something, because they did set...
Why? They're their companies. What are you going to do to tell me to do what I can do with my company or not? Like, this is the problem that the government has. Stop reaching into what companies and what I do. Who cares? I don't want to hire certain people.
Them a target. 2 years ago, they said by 2020, you need to make sure that a third of all leadership roles in your businesses are held by women. And if you look at this list, frankly, we're quite far away from that.
Yeah,
it's just DEI, just make women all leadership so they can all get better careers for nothing.
Anybody who thinks that there's not institutionalized bias that's going to take a long time to get over only needs to look down that list to see how much work still needs to be done. Anna, thank you.
It's true that some women in leadership can exploit their roles, sometimes playing the diversity card or using their position for personal gain rather than genuine change.
How and why will we talk to women at the job when she can launch a false accusation? She can say at any moment that she's uncomfortable. She can file for sexual harassment that may or may not be false. This is the danger of interacting with women in an office closed, because she can walk out of that room and say you did this and this, and now you're fired. Your reputation is gone. Your earning potential has came down, because who wants to hire somebody with an alleged harassment that can or cannot be proved? Most times it can't be proved. And this is the question we have to ask ourselves.
This is exactly why many men feel trapped in the modern workplace. The fear of a false accusation hanging over every interaction creates a toxic atmosphere where genuine communication breaks down.
Yep.
You're doing good, Lorez. Stay with us here. I think you need to understand some of the things that you haven't heard Dean say. But he gets that you were 15, and he gets that you were hurt really, really bad by somebody. And he hates that for you. What do you want to say about that, Dean?
Yeah, I hate you had to go through something like that. I hate now that you have children, that your kids have to go through something like that. And I hope and pray each day.
Why are we fucking sad for her and making her out the victim? The man here, this gentleman's the victim. Why is he consoling her?
You can get close. And this day, I accept your apologies.
While the woman's regret may be genuine now, the consequences she forced upon him are irreversible. Accountability must be clear. Lies of this severity deserve serious consequences.
Yes, if only we can punish these evildoers that accuse men and accuse people of false accusations. Yes, give them the same amount of time that they would get for the person they accuse of doing those horrible acts. Let's get more of that going so people can stop accusing people. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.